welcome on in.
Oh
So
God.
this is this is our second episode of season 3 Fae Fam Talks, where I, Glamour Fairy, and Andrew, right over there, we
I'm over
talk
here
to
now.
over all the way over there, talk to content creators about their journeys, their content creation, and then a topic of their choice. Today our special guest is Banana Rose, who is one of our closest friends. Her pronouns are she, her, and she has been one of my moderators on Twitch since pretty near the beginning of my
Same.
Sounds
my
like I
Twitch
remember.
career. I know,
Been a mod
right?
for me since like the beginning as well.
It's
Thank
yeah.
you, my
Like how insane is that? We've been going for so
Started in
long
April, she got
too.
modded in August.
Oh my gosh.
Um, but yeah. Banana, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I wrote something because I don't know who I am. This is what Glam should
Such a
be
nerd
doing.
though.
Hey there. I'm Banana Rose. I'm a content creator. I've been playing video games just about since I could hold a controller. I grew up playing mostly Nintendo and Sims. Yeah, I still play Nintendo and Sims. On my channel, we like to joke about how I went to art school, except it's not a joke. I went to art school. I have a theater degree. I have too many hobbies. I like all the things, and I'm really happy to be here.
I guess I go to art school as well, so there's that.
Yeah,
It's literally
that's
one of my
exciting.
favorite running jokes with you too, is that
That's
we're
hmm
like your
just
first
like
merch design. Like, I went to
I
art school,
I
I have
want
a
that
theater
so bad.
degree.
I want
it's
to
like
sell
I
shirts
went
to
to
say that.
art school. I have a theater degree. Like it's just
It's
the best.
amazing.
It's even better because, like, if one of us was to wear that isn't going to art school and doesn't have a theater degree, you have that, and someone would be like, "Oh my god, that's so cool! You went to art school and you have a theater degree." Oh no, this is just merch of my best
Oh,
friend
it's just
Banana
merch.
Rose. So
She did
you
though.
should.
She
Is she
has a
did?
theater degree.
That's why, and it's like the best joke ever.
It's fantastic.
It's perfect. I love it. So we're gonna go
Yeah,
ahead and start off with about.
with about.
Yes, with about. We're gonna go ahead and start off with talking about your content creation journey and like how
Yeah.
you started it and where we went with it. So,
Mhm.
I say we like, but anyway,
I mean, the two of
S-
you have been there for
for
most of it at this point.
yeah,
Glam for all of it, but Andrew like popped in really early on in my streaming journey, as far as I remember, anyway. So
it's kind of
I know
cool to
we is
like
fine.
see. I know, like I'm just like, oh yeah, just like most part all
Yeah.
So what got you started on your content creation journey?
Okay. Let's go for the slightly long but not super long story. So I'm in college, and a friend introduced me to Critical Role. It's the first time I ever used Twitch. Didn't know what was going on. That's step one. I made a Twitch account. Step two, I watched a lot of Animal Crossing on YouTube. This is going to be the same as everybody else's story. Sorry, some of it. I watched a lot of Animal Crossing New Leaf on YouTube because I had gotten it like I was like an adult by the time I played Animal Crossing for the first time. So I was like, I don't know what's going on. So I found, of course, Crystal, Simply Press Start on YouTube, and I watched a lot of her videos. And I went, huh, she streams on Twitch? That's that thing that Critical Role is on. Let me go over there. Um, and so I would like watch Crystal sometimes. Honestly, started with Kingdom Hearts. Fantastic. And then at
Same.
some point, yeah. At some point, she must have raided into Glam because I remember watching Glam play Breath of the Wild. And that was
Oh,
another game that I was like struggling figuring out what was going on at the time.
Watched me
Um
playing
sorry, I've
that
just
game.
remembered something.
yep, yes.
I've just remembered something I want to talk about later.
Oh,
Excellent.
perfect. Love that.
Um but I don't know, something about like Glam's stream, her community just kind of like clicked with me, and I immediately just loved Twitch a whole bunch. I was like always like sitting there watching streams and stuff. And Glam had like applications open for mod, I think. And I messaged you and I was like, "Hey, I'm like kind of interested." And you were like, "Oh, good. I was hoping you'd message me." Um, so I got to learn about a little bit of like the streaming side of it from being a moderator, and then I was like, "Hmm, this seems fun." and I jumped in and I tried it myself. And on my shitty little laptop, I opened up Stardew Valley and I streamed and I hoped that nobody would show up, and then somebody did anyway, and I was like, oh.
I
And
don't
then it
even
just kind
remember
of,
if I was in your first one.
I don't know for sure who was, but I know that Katari said hi to me. Because
Hmm.
I remember Katari coming in and going, "Hello, everybody," when I probably had like no viewers other than Katari, and I was like,
Oh,
um, but yeah, from there it just I ended up really liking it, and while I'm not consistent with it, I I love it, and I've been doing it since 2019. It
Hmm.
was like September,
October.
October-y, that I
I
started.
know I know your start month and year because it was slightly after
Wow.
mine. It was in October of 2019 because I started in May of 2019. So you were like 6 months right after me. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. I love
And
that.
you became a mod. You came into my stream around August of 2019.
Yep.
And we figured that out because of because the last time we've talked about this, about um you coming into my stream with Breath of the Wild, I had to figure out when was the last time I played Breath of the Wild.
Mhm.
And
Well,
it was the first game I played when I got my Elgato, the first Elgato.
mhm. I remember because I started watching you right before I moved. And that was when
Oh
that was. It was like late
yeah.
July, early August of that year. So I remember like some of my core memories of moving into this house was like laying on the floor
Hmm.
watching your stream.
oh,
I love
cute.
And like
that.
sitting on the floor in front of my TV, like playing Breath of the Wild. So fun.
You're gonna make
But
me
yeah.
cry.
You, nah, nah, not this early in the podcast. That's for later.
Okay, okay, understood. Andrew, you said you wanting to talk about something. I would love to
So
hear it.
I just
Yeah.
remembered that out of nowhere, actually, that I wouldn't know anyone on Twitch pretty much if it wasn't for Banana.
Really?
Because I found like Glam, Shiny, like everyone, Annie, I found you all through Banana, technically.
Oh.
Because it also happened that one night I wanted someone to watch and I went through the members list in Crystal's Discord to see who was streaming. And Banana was streaming Breath of the Wild as well. And I was like, I go in,
Breath of the Wild bringing us all together.
and then that's how I
I still haven't
found
finished it.
Glam, Annie, Shiny. That's how I found everyone.
I haven't
I
finished it
just
either.
I barely started it. I got it when it came out.
Yeah. Did
Same.
you? I found you through Crystal too, because I remember seeing you in Crystal's chat and stuff. And then I don't remember how I found that you streamed, but I remember popping into your stream and going, "Huh, he seems pretty cool." And then I went, "Hi, I like your accent. Hope that's not weird." I can't believe that's the
I
first thing I ever
remember
said to you, but
that.
it is.
It's
I
I
totally
actually
shouldn't
remember
admit
that.
that, but
not to call anyone out. Actually, I'm not gonna say who it was, but that's a few people's first messages in my chat.
and I just I didn't
It's
want to be weird, but I was like, I don't know.
it's a few people's message, so don't worry, you're not alone.
Good.
It
I'm
is a
glad.
It's
few
just the
people's
hope it's not weird, but I like your accent.
because it was Anne's first message in my chat was I like your accent.
I
I
love
know that
that.
wasn't my first message because I think didn't we go through and see what our first message was or something like that?
Oh my god, I think yours was like
Really?
making fun of me or something.
Oh
Making fun of you from
no.
the beginning.
The only early message I remember is when you came in and told me my mic quality sound better because you were the first person to notice I bought a new microphone.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was like the whole
cute.
premise of the last episode was us talking about mic issues and how sometimes
Mhm.
you don't always get told that you have a mic issue. Um and
Yeah.
so a lot of the times I try to let people know, "Hey, by the way, your mic is kind of fucked up right now.
Yeah.
You might want to adjust that if you
Yeah.
need help.
The
I
mic's kind
may
of
be able to
blur.
help or to be able to tell you who can help you."
Yeah. Well.
But yeah.
Oh.
But I love that we've come together in some sort of way because
The
like
circle of
Mhm.
life.
especially with
Yeah.
like the fact that it's Breath of the Wild that brought us all
I
together.
know. Like out of every
Um
Yeah.
game it could have been,
That's
wasn't even Animal
surprising.
Crossing. It's
I
Breath
know
of the
it's not
Yeah.
Wild.
Animal Crossing because that's what all of us are like. Oh my god, we're gonna go ahead and do that because Animal Crossing because it was like right before,
Yeah.
or for me it was right before Animal Crossing came out, and
Mhm.
then you started like right before Animal Crossing, right, Andrew? Or did you?
No, I started after.
After?
My first
Oh,
stream was on
yeah.
April Fool's Day.
Right. Oh,
Look
right.
how
So it was like a little bit
cute. We
after.
love.
That explains my content creation journey. A joke.
Mm.
No. Oh no. Oh no.
Sorry.
Um,
Oh.
of content
Mhm,
creation journey, kind of goes along with the initial question of like, where did my journey start or whatever.
mhm.
Mm.
Um, I don't know if you guys remember this, but a lot of my early streams were Terraria. I don't know
Yes.
if you remember that, but I was like kind of scared to stream by myself, and also like,
Oh
um,
my god, yeah.
so a lot of my like video game experience in the like, recent years has been playing with my best friend April. So when I wanted to start streaming, but I was like a little nervous about it, I was like, well, what if I just ask April to play games with me? And then if nobody's in the chat, it doesn't matter because like I'm playing games with my best friend. Like I know how to do this. We've been doing this for years. Like,
Mhm.
so I asked her and I was like, do you want to stream with me? And she was like, sure, yeah, whatever. And we played a lot of Stardew and Terraria together. And that was what a
Oh.
lot of my early streams were.
Yeah, I love looking through some of our old clips. Is one of my favorite things
Yeah.
to do. And some of your like OG clips are of like
Mm.
playing with
Oh my
April with
god.
Stardew and the and
All
Terraria.
my
I
clips are
love it.
gone.
You bring me so much
I
joy.
I I need to delete a lot of mine. Anyway, we'll
Oh,
go
I
about
don't
that
have
later.
any of my 20
Mine
I
are
don't have any of
mine are
my
solid.
clips before March 2021 anymore.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
I wanna download all my clips onto my computer into like a
Mm.
file.
Huh. What do you think I've done?
And then I have almost 3.5 years of clips, and I want to
Wow.
download them all, but I have no idea how to do that unless I download every single one of them and try to download them
Yeah.
all into the same
Uh
file
it
and then
it
organize
yeah.
it from there.
You have to download each one individually. That's what I did when I was clip editing for you. Went through and went
Uh,
download, 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 download.
is there like a tool thing for that
I'm
to be
I'm
able to
I've
download
been
them
I've
all at
been
once?
searching. If somebody knows one, please let me know. Like
Please let me know as
if
well.
you're like let me know
Me
so I
too.
could do it, because I would love to just I want to download them all and then delete anything that's been like older than probably a year, because I feel like some of my content and the prior years is nothing like how I am now. And so when you go into streams, some streams they do video shout outs, and like it's a clip
Right.
of me from like 2020, and I'm like, that's not the same me. Like I'm
No, you're
That's
talking
so
about
right.
something,
insane.
and sometimes it can be because some of the clips can be almost triggering for me because
Mm.
some of the content was just something that I wasn't proud of. And
Yeah.
so
Mm.
it's
That's
really hard to go into someone's
that's
stream with a video shout
why
out. Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the video shout out
I think they're really
because
Sure.
cool,
they're
but like,
cool, but it could unlock a memory that someone doesn't want to remember and they forgot about, you know what I mean?
mhm.
Which is why
if
I'm
I
not
Yeah,
a fan
was,
of
for
them.
sure.
I feel like if I was to do a video shout out for that, I would only do it for specific people and with their permission and with clips that they have chosen.
Yeah, I'd
That's
let them
exactly what I
pick the
was just
clips.
thinking.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm.
Because then it
Totally
helps
agree.
them choose a clip that best represents
Uh-huh.
them, because the whole point of those video shout outs is for like a hey, this is the content that they do and you can like see what they're doing and like a live 1 minute video and then go over there
Mm.
and give them a follow because you like that one clip that I showed. But if it's a
Right.
clip from
Yeah.
you from 2.5 years ago and you're not the same person and you have really long pink bright ass hair and
I
you're
like
going
pink.
yeah, and you're just like doing some weird shit that you just wouldn't do now. Although I do have to say I have looked at my clips recently from back then with Andrew, and there's some things that I still do to this day. Like
Oh
I
my god,
haven't
yeah.
changed at all, but I've changed a lot at the same time.
Mm. I think I'm broken again.
Oh, you're
I'm
good.
sorry.
No, you're
Okay,
good.
I'm back. All
You
right.
were only broken for half a second. I noticed that. I was like, oh
Okay,
shit, she's not
good.
moving.
Oh no.
Don't move, everybody.
I feel
It's
like I have
part
to
of the
like
whole thing.
pose.
It
So
posts to make sure that it doesn't just stop on the whole thing.
mm.
Um,
But
so
yeah,
going
I
through,
totally
oh,
get
go
that
ahead.
with the clip. I totally get that with the clips thing. Like I like a lot of my old clips, but my content doesn't look the same anymore.
Hmm.
I'm probably gonna keep all of mine, but the video, like the clip shout out things are odd. It's weird.
They're
Like I don't expect to hear my stream when I pop into somebody else's.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then you're like, that's my voice. You can turn that off now.
You can turn that off now.
Or
Sounds
oh,
like
that's
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 typical.
my terrible laugh. Okay, you can hide that now.
Oh my god, it's
Mhm.
like when you watch through some of your clips, like when we've been watching some of your clips, I get so triggered whenever I hear my voice in your clips. I'm just like,
You're like,
because
yeah.
it's like, especially
It's
from clips from
weird.
like 2020, I'm like, whom?
Oh.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh,
Well, and like my plethora of mics that I've gone through. Like I always make fun of Andrew's mics and how he goes through
I
so
can list
many.
them all right now.
But I've also gone through quite a few mics. I went through because I had the Blue Yeti when I first started, and like I had
Mhm.
no filters on it. And every time I watch my clips back then, I just see like I see the Blue Yeti, and then I hear myself and I go, "Why did nobody tell me that I sounded like absolute shit?" And then I got the Razer Siren X,
Oh god.
and that was good for a moment, but I only had it for a few months before I was like, "Okay, I want something new. I don't like how my voice sounds on that one. Not like I like my voice to begin with,
The
but like
microphone just wasn't
Me
that
too.
good. It was
it
like kind
wasn't
of
as
like
good as I thought it was."
your
And
headphones kept like crackling or like it was
oh
just a cheap
yeah.
That
microphone.
one.
It
Mhm.
was
I
It
just
do
was
like,
the
remember that one,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's the one where I had the mic friends on top of it. That was the
Oh.
only thing that I loved about it. And then and now I have the Elgato Wave
Mhm.
3.
so I got
Ew.
a cheap microphone, then another cheap microphone, then I got a Blue Yeti, then an Audio Technica, then an Elgato Wave, an Elgato Wave 3, back to the Audio Technica. Then I got the Shure SM7B, I think it is. It's not that one, it's the step down. And then I'm back to the Audio Technica. I've had 8 microphones, if that helps. And I'm
I
still not
started
happy with my audio.
oh. I started with a cheap headset with a microphone, and then I
Oh,
upgraded to a better headset with a better microphone, and that's it.
your
It is
mic
a better
quality
microphone.
is really
Oh,
good. Like,
I
I
was
it
about to
is
say I
really
also have
highly
good,
that
yeah.
too.
recommend Corsair.
Mhm.
Sponsor
Mhm.
us.
Because that was, I
We love
believe, if
Corsair.
I remember correctly, that was the same one that I had started off with.
It was, yes.
Yeah, it was the one
It's
that
lovely.
my husband has. He had that same one, the Corsair one, and that's what I was
Mm.
using when I
Oh,
first started, and then went to the Blue
I'm
Yeti.
renting the Corsair on my desk, if that helps.
Oh, I've got a Corsair mouse right now too.
I have a lot of Elgato stuff. I have this, and then
That's
my
Mhm.
face
Corsair, though.
cam is Elgato, right, which is Corsair, and then I've got
Mhm.
the Stream Deck, and then
Capture
and
card.
then I have Logitech, which is my headphones, my mouse, and my keyboard.
I've
Excellent.
got this fucker on my desk.
Oh my
Don't worry
Oh
god.
about
yeah,
that.
that Go XLR. That
Oh,
those things scare
love
me.
it.
And I say that, but I have the
It-
wavelength for the wave.
It's
This
frightening.
thing is scary. One wrong move of this and your audio is messed up.
Your whole
Yikes.
then why are you holding it?
Mm. It's salt on my desk.
Moon. Mm.
That's
So
salt.
let's transition a little bit with our content creation journey. We'll go ahead and start talking about like who was your inspiration when you started, and then bounce off of that with has that changed since you began? I think those are the words.
Sure. The answer to that question is easy. My inspiration when I started streaming was you and Crystal. That's probably like mainly it because I didn't like know like a ton of people when I first started.
Mm.
Since then it's the same, but just like I've added a few people like Andrew. You're obviously like
Oh.
um I love you and you
And I don't
inspire
even
me every
stream
day
that
too.
much, but you
Okay, is
know.
it time to cry
Um
now? Because I think we're ready now.
no yeah.
I don't even stream
um
that much, but you know, I appreciate.
But like I feel like I when I think about the way that I want to make content, which I'm not really there yet, but when I think about that, it's like little pieces of a lot of different people that I've
Mhm.
watched
Oh,
and all
for
of like my
sure,
friends
yeah.
that make content. It's like I like
Yeah,
this thing that they do and I like this thing that they do and I like
yeah.
this attitude and XYZ this that and the other thing.
Uh-huh.
So it's gone from just like a couple people that I knew really well and watched their streams to like whole bunch, so I couldn't even list them
Yeah.
all if I tried.
Mhm.
It's always nice to hear that you inspire, especially with
Yeah.
streaming, because I feel like recently I've been doing a lot more YouTube stuff than streaming stuff.
Mhm.
So it's still nice to hear that people
Yeah.
do find
I
you inspiring.
I'm not gonna lie when people say that I inspire them, and when it's on, especially on here, when it's like on the podcast, I'm like, you're just saying that because you're on the podcast, but like,
You know it's true though.
I was about to say with you, I know it's true because we've talked about this like in
Mhm.
depth about things that inspire us and what we do, and so like I
Mhm.
remember you coming to me being like, hey, I was thinking about streaming, and I was like, do
Oh,
it, like immediately, just do it. And you're like, are
just
you
Mhm.
do it.
sure? I was like, yes. Like that's one of my things that I tell people when they want to start streaming is always just do it, like
Yeah.
It's my
full
best
on
advice.
Nike,
Just
You'll
just
never
do
know
go
if
for
you
it.
don't
it.
try.
Just go
Yeah,
for it.
exactly.
Oh
Because
yeah.
if you don't just do it, then you're never going to do it. Um,
Mm.
if you have
I'm
to go through
fully
like
one of
the
those people too.
because like that's kind of how it is that like you find something and you want to do it, you're like, if I don't do it now, I'm never gonna do it, or I'm gonna do
Yeah.
X, Y, and Z and everything else in between, and then I'll do it, but I never actually get to the and then I'll do it part. I'll just do all the other stuff
Mhm.
before it and then never actually
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
It
Definitely.
yeah. Um, but yeah.
Mhm.
I it still feels good when someone says that
Yeah.
we inspire other creators when we're doing things, because like Andrew said, like he's doing more YouTube content, but even the YouTube content, it's still content. You're still like inspiring somebody else to
Yeah.
be doing
Mhm.
other content.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like we said before, we go from YouTube to Twitch. So like
Mm.
Uh-huh.
the transition over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time I
Technically. Oh,
oh, you
no,
could go
go
first this
ahead.
way.
You're
Oh,
the guest.
okay. I'm just gonna say something nice about you, Andrew. That's all.
Oh.
Um, every time I like think about making YouTube content or like plan on like oh maybe I'll try this thing. I always think about you, Andrew. Every time,
Oh.
like full stop.
I do like to think I've tried to be consistent with YouTube. Try. Um, but it's like, I guess with me with content, technically people's transition is usually from Twitch and then they gradually like start to do YouTube as well
Mm,
as Twitch. Technically mine was YouTube and then Twitch.
yeah,
Technically. Because I did
that's usually
start on YouTube. So
mhm, yeah.
I
I
don't
feel
know.
like from the viewing side, it's usually YouTube to Twitch. From the like creation side, it's usually Twitch to YouTube.
Yeah. Hmm.
Hmm.
But it's vice
Yeah.
versa for me.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
in a sense, I think we talked about this last time, is last episode, is that my first creation content creation stuff was on YouTube, but it was like doing weird tags on like the pen pal tag, or the book, I was the Seven Deadly Sins book tag that I did, and I didn't have the collection of books that I do have now, and I don't
Mm.
read as much as I did back then. Back then I read so much. I mean,
Yeah,
it was
physically
it was a
can't.
lot. And so like that kind of that actually kind of goes with our other topic, which we'll talk about later, about
Oh
hyperfixations
yeah.
and whatnot. But
Mhm.
we'll go back to that. But um my content started, like the idea of wanting to do content creation, doing these sort of things, was on YouTube, and I tried it out, learned that I can't do edit worth shit, and then came to Twitch because I found Twitch was a little bit more appealing with the way that you can talk to
Yeah.
people like live, and like I feel like
Mm.
there's almost less, it's not really less effort. It's semi less effort when you stream on Twitch, because you start
It
streaming and
is.
you go on here and you don't
Mm.
have to do a whole lot. You don't
Yeah.
have to have all the fancy overlays. You don't have to have all the fancy stuff. But
Right.
a lot of us put our
Uh-huh.
heart and soul and our whole everything just into those things, because we want to help everybody out. We want to like create this
Just gonna
atmosphere. You're
just gonna
what?
Yeah. What? Me? What about me?
No, just the fact that I spend more time making overlays than I do streaming.
Oh.
The other day we were on a
Fair.
VC, and literally we were just showing each other, like he showed me his OBS and was working on his OBS and being like, oh, look at this cool thing, and was spending like 2 hours working on his OBS while I was on my OBS being like, I could do this, and then never did anything. I was just like,
Makes sense.
I didn't do
The
a
thing is
single
with
thing.
like Twitch being like not less effort, but you get what I mean with YouTube. So
Yeah.
I'm currently not self promo or anything.
Does
Um,
that count when you're
does that
literally talking on a
count?
podcast about making
True,
content?
true. But I'm currently working on a YouTube video that took 7 hours to record. So it is
My
like
God.
7 hours worth of footage. I have to condense down into like a 15-minute video, and it's hard staying motivated to edit. Like I'm nowhere
Right.
near
Mm-mm.
done editing. I barely started it, but it's so much work, and you feel like you edit for so long and get nowhere. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
like I
agree.
can edit Twitch clips pretty fast, I would say,
Mm.
but full length YouTube videos, which again take up to 7, like if I was to work all day on YouTube, I would work for about like 20 hours for
My
YouTube.
God.
So
For just
Yeah.
one video too, because like
just
you have
one
to
video.
put into
Mhm.
factor like different things that you put into those videos too, depending on what kind of video you're
Oh
doing.
my god, yeah.
So like if you're doing one where oh, I was doing a plan with me video at one point, and when I do the plan with me videos, they take forever. First of all, I have to set up everything so I can video record me doing the planning on in my bullet journal.
Yeah.
And then I put it into a thing where I could go ahead and just have it set up, and then I do a voiceover on top of that. And then I
Yeah.
have to put the voiceover on
Voiceovers, oh
top
my
of that after
god.
I've edited
Mhm.
it.
I hate
And then
doing
I hate
voiceover.
add
voiceovers, like
everything
they're so
else in
awkward.
there. It's so much, and like, and I've talked about this before with my when I do YouTube videos, I yawn. I yawn forever. So like you can hear those yawns. So then I have to clip out those yawns. And
Yeah.
sometimes I miss them, and I'm like, ah, it's so much more effort that I feel like I have to do with YouTube, because there's just so much more to add to it. While on Twitch, you just start streaming and you start talking and you start playing the game that you like
Yeah.
playing, and you just
Yeah.
vibe.
To give like
Um.
another example with sorry, Banana, I keep interrupting you. Go
No,
ahead.
it's okay.
You
I
guys keep talking
promise.
at the same time. You're not interrupting. You're
Yeah.
talking
We're
at the
just
same exact
we're just
time.
like we're vibing.
So I have 2 Sims videos on my channel. One is a reaction to the werewolves channel, and one's each pack is a different room.
Mhm.
Each pack is a different room. Took 4.5 hours to record and 6 hours to edit, all in one
Mhm.
day. So that was a 10-hour YouTube day. But then
It's
the
one of
Sims
my
4 werewolves video took
Mm.
20 minutes to record, 5 minutes to edit because I just did no editing at all. So it's like there's
Okay.
definitely a difference in how your
Mm.
video is presented in different ones. Like some videos are very, very low effort when I can't be bothered. And when I can be bothered, they're a bit more high energy, high effort, you know what I mean?
Mhm. Your each pack or each room is a different pack video is one of my favorite videos like ever. It was
Oh.
so good. I remember just it was one of the things that I chose to watch before bed, and I remembered watching it. I was like, "Oh, I love Sims. I love Andrew. This is great." It was so fucking fun.
The best hybrid combination ever.
Yes, it was so good. But yeah, with the whole like editing thing, I feel like that's where I stop making YouTube content, because for me editing feels like a lot of brain work, and it's like I can't listen to music while I do it because I need to listen to my voice, and I have to cut out every time I say because I say every 3 seconds. Whereas with streaming, it feels really natural to me because it's a lot like I went to art school, I have a theater degree. It's a lot like a performance, right?
Mhm.
So,
Uh,
you hit the start streaming button and it's just like, you know, doing a performance. And I feel like that's where I end up making more stuff on Twitch than YouTube, because it just feels a little more natural, right?
Mhm.
yeah, that's fair. That's completely fair.
Mm.
For sure. I love that
So
kind of
Glam's
knocked
thing
out
of
kind of
like, sorry.
Oh no, go
um
ahead.
Graham's thing of saying it's like more low effort, it's not necessarily that. It's just if you are the kind of person who can just go and like speak to people, scared shitless to do it, but then that's gonna make Twitch feel easier because, you know, it's like talking to people.
Right.
Mhm.
But yeah, So with that
Me
being, that
neither.
actually kind of goes off with like what we were talking about with one of my other questions that I had for you. So like we'll just kind of skip over that question, which we don't really need to talk about all the questions, but you know what I mean. Um
Mm.
so like
What's your favorite platform to make content on?
yeah, kind of,
Yeah.
yeah, cuz like
Yeah, I kind of answered that by
it kind of goes
accident.
with that because like we kind of talk about, I mean, like, not saying that because YouTube is more effort, meaning that it's less of our favorite platform, but
Mm.
like
Mm,
when you use one and you make it
yeah.
your content, like I feel like I get more enjoyment with my Twitch stuff. I get more enjoyment out of my YouTube stuff if I put the effort into it, but I have to put the effort into it, and I am a very low
Yeah.
effort person sometimes, and especially not now FIFA.
I was gonna say you keep getting FIFA notifications.
Like,
FIFA?
go away. Yeah, I got a FIFA notification. Like,
God.
excuse you. I don't even play FIFA.
Oh god. As far as talking about like favorite platforms, like
hmm
overall, I'll be honest, my favorite platform to make content on is YouTube.
hmm
But
Hmm.
like I do love the interact because the hardest thing for YouTube is me is not having the feedback right there. Like I can't just be
Yes.
like, have
Yeah.
my audio. I have to like
Hmm.
do an audio test, stop, listen back. Sometimes I might send it to someone and be like, does this sound okay? You know what I mean?
Mm.
I'm
Yeah.
terrible with audio tests because I will literally go ahead and do a whole thing and then put it together and then listen to it and be like, it's screwed. I'm fucked. I
Yep.
can't do this. I can't do
Oh,
this video anymore. I just spent the last 3 hours recording this video and now I can't even put it
here's
anywhere
one of my
because the
editing
audio
tips
is
and
shit.
YouTube
That's
tips
why I stopped
before you
making
start
Cozy Grove
before
content.
you start recording. Please do an audio test. Please just
You
do
can't
it.
make me.
You'll
Listen to
not
Andrew.
regret it.
Andrew is
You'll
right.
not
I won't
regret it. I have with
listen, but
as someone
you
who
should.
was recording once for 3 hours, didn't do an audio test and had to scrap the whole thing. Rest in
Oh,
peace. Each room is a different color Sims video.
oh
Um,
no.
yeah, just do an audio test. You will be thankful.
Mhm. I'm writing
Literally
that
though.
into my brain, taking
And
that
do
as a
like
little note,
little
Yeah.
sticking it in there.
do audio test beforehand.
Audio test
Message
beforehand. On beforehand.
Andrew before
Yeah, just
Message
message
Andrew
me before
before
YouTube.
doing anything.
anything, just anything.
Underline, period, full stop, send tweet.
Send tweet.
I
Oh.
love that. Um so one of the things that as content creators we always end up in a kind of like a I called it a content creation block, kind of like a writer's block
Oh,
or
Mm.
some
I'm always
or
in
something
one.
like that. Um like currently I'm in one. So like what do you guys do for like, this is for like all three of us. What do we do
Mm.
to get ourselves out of that? Because like I do multiple things, but I also just kind of let it go.
I would love to know the answer to that question.
What I usually do when I have like extreme like burnout, which I've just recovered from finally, um, what I did was I turned the camera on at like 3 in the morning and I pretty much spoke to the camera for 2 hours about what was burning me out, why it was, and everything. And pretty much after I did that, I started to be like, okay. And then pretty much I just work on stuff. I just rework my stream layout, my panels, my overlays. I just
Mhm.
do it all again. And it usually gets me because usually mine comes with um I usually oh my god, my brain is blanking.
It's okay.
Mine usually comes from like imposter syndrome, which was my topic the last episode. Um so I try my best to be like, you what you're doing is fine, but if you want to change it, just change it. If you want to, and then I usually just change up how I do content, which is what I'm doing at the moment. So,
Mm.
that's usually how um that's usually how I go about it. I had
Yeah.
felt like I had more to say, but my brain has actually just left the building. It got the fire exit door and left.
Got the fire
Um,
exit door.
I feel like my experience with like a creation block kind of thing sort of weirdly enough goes hand in hand with the topic that I picked.
Mhm.
I feel like my brain and the things that I do sort of go in like a cycle, right? Like it's cyclical. So sometimes I go, yeah, like I'm really excited about streaming and I want to stream a bunch and I'll stream like a bunch of times that week, however many, times is feasible and I'll like, do the thing. And then all of a sudden, when I'm like in the middle of like I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, all of a sudden it just goes away. And I'm like, hmm. And sometimes it goes away because there's something else that's taking my attention, like, oh, I'd rather play Final Fantasy by myself than stream. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes it's just I don't know where it went and I don't realize it until I get back into the swing of making content where I'm like, oh, I stopped streaming for like 3 weeks. What happened? Right?
Mhm.
So
Mood. Mood. Oh,
the
my fan
past
just turned on.
Oh. Speaking of, the past couple months, because it's been getting so hot, I've been
Mhm.
on like a
Yes.
forced content creation like block because when I am able to make content, like it's been really difficult. And the stupid internet issues has been really annoying. Um, at least I'm not dealing with the like computer issues because I have a brand new computer.
Mhm.
Um, so like changes like that have helped, but it's like right now I'm in like a forced block and that's probably the hardest that I've experienced because when I do try, it's not me stopping me anymore. It's something else. And that's when it's the hardest. When it's me stopping me, I could just be mad at me,
Mhm.
right? And then eventually like be like, "All right, dude, just sit down, just hit the button, play Animal Crossing. You know you want to. Why aren't you doing it?" Um so I feel like my blocks like come in cycles that way and usually it's just a me thing, which is, how it
Yeah,
be.
that's fair.
Mine is definitely a me thing. So like currently
Mhm.
I am in a content creation block. I literally like I've been having such a hard time trying to decide on
Mhm.
what, because after doing it for so long, you start having, I feel like it's so funny because like you're like, oh, I've been doing this for so long. I've been doing it for 3.5 years. Like that seems like it's not even that long, but it is that
Yeah.
long because
It's
like
long.
you it's like a part-time job. You've been doing this for a very long time and you're streaming. You take hours to do this and like where did the burnout come from? Because for me, I'm not just burnt out on content creation. I'm burnt out on like
Mhm.
everything.
Life.
Life. Like
Right.
yesterday, I was supposed to set up stuff for this for FaFam Talks, and I couldn't get myself to do it. I literally went into the bedroom. I was like, oh, I'll go ahead and start writing out some of the stuff that I need to get done, for FaFam Talks. I started like getting to there and then I opened up TikTok and then I only watched two videos and then I started falling asleep. So then I like turned off TikTok, put it down, and I just slept for 2 hours. So like
Right.
it's just like an exhaustion thing where I
Didn't
just kind of
respond to
like
my Discord message because you were sleeping.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Andrew messaged me like 4 times and be like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm doing fine." And then like better than yesterday. And then all of a sudden, I slept, and then I woke back up to
Mhm.
another message from Andrew being like, "Hey, are you good?" I'm like, "I slept for 2 hours." He was like, "Oh, do you feel better?" And I'm like, "No."
Never.
I'm like I could go back to sleep right now. Like I could go
Mm.
back to sleep. I didn't.
you,
I ended up
you
staying up for
did,
another
didn't you?
6 hours.
Okay.
No, I ended up playing Stardew Valley, the board game with my
Excellent.
husband and stepson again, and it was lots of fun. It was lots of fun again. that
Mhm.
that game is so much fun. Um I think the thing is though is that when we're talking about trying to get out of a block, it's very hard for all of us to kind of find that thing that helps us get out. Sometimes what you need is the
Yes.
time away from it. And sometimes that's really hard for us as content creators because then we start like panicking about like these people are going to forget about us or uh or like when I come back, they're not going to be as excited to see me because they're like, "Oh, this bitch, she still
Mhm.
exists. Oh, okay, yeah, sure, I'll watch some of her stuff." Like,
Yeah.
maybe, or like maybe I'll just unfollow because I've gotten that a couple of times too.
Mhm.
Especially because sometimes the block is what you're playing or what you're doing. So like some of my content creation that I've done, I've started playing different games like Animal Crossing. I burnt out on it after 6 months of playing it straight, and then started playing Dead by Daylight. And going from Animal Crossing to Dead by Daylight is like
Oh my
so
god,
hard,
yeah.
which is
But
really
it seems
funny
to be a
because
theme in the
it
Animal
is.
Crossing
It's a
community.
theme.
Animal
It's a
Crossing to DBD pipeline.
yeah, and it really happens quite often. Like people do that. Like,
Mm.
and I see it very regularly with other content creators. Yet it's still really hard for us to keep our viewership up there.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean,
So
yeah,
like,
my little name down there is based off Dead by Daylight.
That is
yeah.
so true.
But
So,
it's exactly, it's we go from one thing to another, and then we start panicking, and then that's where another set of my blockage that I had, like it's my blockage, um
Yeah.
where that came from. But now it's different because now I have like 50 other things that I want to do. I want to re go into all my other games that I haven't finished. Like I want to go back into Zelda.
Mm.
I do want to keep doing that villager hunting for every single villager in alphabetical order, and getting their
oof.
pictures. I
Mhm.
still want to do that because I had so much fun doing that I want to keep going with it. Um and then we have the podcast, and then like I have my bullet journal that I'm getting into more so, but like finding that happy medium with what you're doing and what everybody else is doing, or what your
Mm.
viewers want to see, is very difficult, and that's
Yeah.
usually what gets me into that block.
Right. Yeah.
So getting
'Cause
out
like
of it is like confusing.
yeah, it can be easy enough to just go, well, I want to play this game right now, so I'm gonna play this game right now.
Hmm.
But if you're like actively working towards your stats being like good, or at least like where you want them to be, sometimes doing that doesn't work in the like algorithm and stats wise kind of stuff.
Mhm. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you have like 6 different types of content that you want to do.
Mm. Yeah.
Uh-huh. That's
I've had
like,
to put aside a lot of that like attempting to grow kind of stuff just for the sheer fact of my brain can't do it. If I focus too much on like, okay, I want to focus on like playing this game and growing my following around that, I'll stop streaming because I'll suddenly decide that I don't want to do that anymore. And then I'll go,
yeah.
well, I can't stream unless I'm doing that, so I can't stream.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, and I
I
don't
know
want to
the
get
feeling.
myself into that situation. So that's where my I play what I want when I want, whatever kind of vibe comes from.
Yeah.
Because if I don't do it that way, I'm not gonna do it. Like
Mhm.
I know
I
myself.
um I very much learned that I'm not a story game streamer, like at all.
Mm,
Like I will not finish story-based games on stream. The only story-based game I've ever finished on stream, there's two, was Life is Strange because
mm,
best game series of all time, and Super Mario Odyssey many times on stream. But
yes.
like I love streaming. Like I'm thinking about streaming Dead by Daylight again, maybe.
Mm,
And Minecraft. Love streaming Minecraft. Love making content on Minecraft. That's currently what my content I'm trying to do is Minecraft because I just, well, you know,
Because
love
you're
playing
having
the
fun
game.
with it.
yeah.
Like the likes of multiplayer games is what I should say. Like Fall Guys and all them. I love streaming them, so I'm gonna stream them. You know,
Mhm.
it's like I love getting like making a little group of people to play something on stream. Do you know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
I'm recently thinking when it comes because I thought about like viewership and having like people on VC on stream was like I'm not gonna have them in the viewers because they're on stream on voice chat. But then I'm like I'm not doing this to make money. This isn't my job. Why do I care so much about how many people are watching me if I don't want anything of mine to take off? Why do I care? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Mm,
That's what I'm
right.
trying to like learn is just be like, do what you want. Don't worry about your viewership because you don't want anything to go anywhere. To be honest with you, you
Mhm.
know,
Mm,
that's
yeah,
just
I
been my
get that.
mindset on it.
Mm.
It's a vibe. That's a mood. I almost said a vibe, but I meant a
That's a
mood.
vibe.
It's a
Caught a
vibe.
vibe.
I can
That's
only
what
think
I
like the
was thinking
emote.
I
too.
knew I was gonna end up singing something at some point during this podcast.
I can
Let's
only
be
think of
real.
the emote, not
It's
even the
me.
song, just the
Oh, the
emote.
vibe. The not all of
I
us just
started the whole
dancing at
thing
the
with that
same
emote.
time.
I've been telling so many people to add it to their channel.
I love it so much. I have added it to mine because of it. Actually, so like with content creation, with our blocks, we were talking about playing what we want when we want and how that kind of goes with it. That kind of goes with our topic that you have chosen, Banana, which is
Right.
hyperfixations and
Yeah.
like the effects that it has on content. So
Mm.
first, before we go into like our whole thing about hyperfixations, I do want to talk about what hyperfixations are. Um, yeah, yeah. Don't worry, Andrew. I thought
My,
about this
my, my
beforehand.
dyslexic brain is kicking in. I'm just like, what? I was about to Google it. Like,
Don't worry. I thought about that before, and I was like, usually when we talk about something like this, that has a full on like uh
Sorry, I'm swinging on my
uh
chair.
oh no, you're good. A definition. If you need, if you gotta do it, you
yeah, right.
gotta.
I've been doing this the entire podcast. I
Okay.
don't care.
Okay.
So like hyperfixations, according to an article that I found from Oxford Specialists, which I also have a whole thing about not just hyperfixations but hyperfocus. They're very similar to what they're talking about because Banana thought that hyperfocus and hyperfixations were two different things, but they're very one and the same. So
I use words
hyperfixation,
differently. I can
right?
explain that if you want
Oh,
after,
oh
but
yeah, for sure.
okay.
So like hyperfixation is when a complete absorption in a task to a point where a person appears to completely ignore or tune out everything else. So essentially when you can only think about that one thing, when you can only like for like gaming wise, like when you only want to play that one game, like friends are like, "Hey, you want to play this other game?" And you're like, "No, I only want to play this game." Or
Mhm.
when you find another thing that you're doing and you're like, "I need to know everything about this one thing," and then do it, like hobby wise, or even like um learning about something, like a hyperfixation of mine for like between the ages of I think 15, 16, up until I was like 22, I think. Avatar The Last Airbender was a huge hyperfixation for me. I had a whole Facebook page with my best friend. Like we had a book that we wrote that was like fan fiction that had to do with an AU in Avatar The Last Airbender. Like I could go
Yes.
on forever about all this stuff, and the fact that it's coming back now is like breaking that hyperfixation back a little bit. So it's like, ugh, hold it back a little bit, just hold it back a little bit. So like having that for so long was really hard because that was like it was like my personality back then.
Right.
So now it's not, and now my hyperfixation is content creating and making this content, but like even in that, like going into it is like a total different thing. So but Banana, you wanted to talk about the
Right.
differences that you had with fixation and focus.
Yeah.
Hyper.
So
Yeah.
I guess the way that I understood the words and the way that I've been using them, which, whatever, words are made up anyway. I always use the term hyperfixation to mean like a particular thing that has grabbed my attention like a lot in like recent times, right? So like I'm currently hyperfixated on Stranger Things. That's all I can think about. Sorry, like it's true, right? But then I usually use the term hyperfocus for when other people would probably call it like when you're like in the zone, right? So like say I don't know, working on my D&D characters, whatever, right? And I sit down and I'm like, "Oh, hey, I kind of want to think about my D&D characters." And then suddenly it's 4 hours later. I have to pee. I haven't drank anything. I don't know what happened. I've been like focusing to an extreme, so like hyper focusing on it. That's usually how like I would use the terms, but I
Right.
guess if they're interchangeable, then you can use hyper focus as a noun to mean the same thing as a hyperfixation.
Right.
Um, but yeah.
Let me see. Where did the I had the article open and now I have no
Oh.
idea where it went.
Oh no.
I don't have it open anymore.
Oh no.
And in order to find it, I have to open up our DMs, and I don't want to do that. Anyway,
Oh,
so the article that I had found, it kind of talked about how both of those that you were saying, hyperfixation and hyperfocus, are pretty much interchangeable. They're the same thing, because they're doing generally the same thing. So so when we focus on
Sorry.
certain things, not Andrew.
Sorry, I heard that.
No.
It brought me joy.
Andrew's
the
phone
start
went off,
turned
and
on.
it was the Life is Strange sound, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love that sound.
So, with hyper focusing and hyperfixation, like you were talking about, like D&D, and how like you were looking into that one
Right,
specific
yeah.
thing, and then all of a sudden, like it's just 4 hours have gone by. You haven't ate, you haven't drank, you haven't stretched.
Mm,
It's kind of the same thing with content creation, because sometimes streaming for me,
right.
I mean, you guys have seen me. I've streamed for like 8 hours straight, and like I've
Not
stretched
took a
maybe like
break.
twice, maybe like I stood up and that was it. Or I'd be like,
To
okay, I have
dance.
to pee. I'm gonna do it like in the middle of a match. Bye, and I like run for it,
Right.
and then I
But
come
you're
running
doing that
back.
quickly. You're not like
Yeah,
saying to
I'm not
yourself like, "Oh,
actually.
I'm gonna take this break. I'm gonna take like 5, 10 minutes away from stream and go to the bathroom, get a drink."
hmm
Yeah.
No, I
Be
just do full on,
complex.
just like yeah, and sometimes that could be bad because that's how you burn out. Or two,
Right.
it could be great because now I'm getting that hyperfixation out of my way, and then I could go ahead and do something else. Except now it's
Mm.
even harder for myself because I'm doing this full-time work, and I'm doing school. I'm going to school part-time, and then like I've
Mm.
got like 3 campaigns that we're doing, and I've got
Oh,
like
I think there's more than 3, my dude.
well, yeah, there is,
Well,
but like there's 3 at the top of my head that I know,
bigger
like we're
games. There's 3
yes,
of, yeah.
yes. Anyway, and that's just the start of it because we're still doing other things. Plus, then I went ahead and started looking into it. You know, when I was talking about my hyperfixation about Avatar: The Last Airbender, that's coming back
Yeah.
because now there's this RPG of Avatar: The Last Airbender that I'm like, I could go ahead and make my own campaign with Avatar: The Last Airbender.
56.
Was it just
Oh my
56 or was it
god.
150? It was just
No, just
56.
56.
Yeah, it
Just
was
56.
56 pages of the quick start. Just the quick start, by the way.
Whoa. I mean, there are like 3 books
It
for
was
D&D
it
and
was
they've got
like
hundreds of pages each, but like, this isn't
right.
that. It's its own RPG.
Right, and this came out in March of this year. And that's just the like I said, just the quick start. They did a Kickstarter for it, and even some of the people that uh were a part of Avatar: The Last Airbender, like Dante Bosco, who's the voice of Zuko,
Love.
he's doing a lot of content that has to do with Avatar, and he's been doing it since then. He's always been a Zutara shipper, which is what my ship has always been. Like I like I've been keeping my eyes on everything for
Mhm.
the content that Dante Bosco was putting out for so long because I was like, okay, I'm gonna start doing more Avatar stuff, and then I stopped doing it. So now I can do that, and then I can do it alongside the stuff that we're getting into with D&D. Um, so I like set up a bunch of stuff, and yeah. Let's see, this is what happens when you do a hyperfixation thing. You just go
Right.
on forever about
Right.
hyperfixation and you don't stop. That's what I
Mhm.
just did. That is the
Yeah.
definition of a hyperfixation. There you
Yes.
go.
Yeah. For me, honestly, like something that I wouldn't even necessarily call a hyperfixation. It's just like something that I've taken it, right? And I held it
Mhm.
like this in my hands and then I shoved it into my personality. The Twilight Saga. Don't at me. I don't care if you don't like them. They're not good books, but I love them. Um the movies being released on Netflix kind of like brought that back for me like full swing. I was like, "Oh yeah, I kind of love these things."
Mm.
So that's been kind of fun to like it's another one of those things where like suddenly there's something on the internet about it and now I am thinking about it all the time again. Well, the current one at like the top of the list is Stranger Things. I can't stop thinking about Stranger Things.
Oh,
Okay,
No
look, you
spoiler
really
if
you
no
really
spoilers. I will
literally
do.
start
no
season
spoilers
2.
in the chat. I
Yeah, I'm
will
still in the middle of
Ban
season
you.
3, y'all. And
I
Andrew
will ban
just
you if I see a spoiler.
also I will
yeah,
ban you.
100%.
That's okay. I already got like 50 fucking
I'm
spoilers.
sort of free.
So, I
Oh
already know how it
lamb, I've been worried about that.
I got so many. No, literally, it's so hard when when part of your life is content creation. So you have to like, okay, part of the thing with me with TikTok is that like I watch a lot of TikTok, okay? Now, part of that
Right.
has to do with the fact that I'm dissociating. Duh. And the other part of that
Rude.
is that I am actually doing kind of research with trends and what's happening right now, so that way I can go ahead and potentially grab that trend and make it into a TikTok and then like actually do something with it, because that's how you get viewers right now, is get, or not just viewers, but like getting the followers and stuff like that on TikTok and then potentially moving them over to your Twitch. And like doing all that content creation requires knowing what social media trends are going and how to work with each social media thing.
Right.
Especially since that's what I'm going to school for. so like
Oh,
it's hard because you're like, I don't want to be on TikTok 3 hours a day, but yet here I am.
yeah.
Mhm.
Like, also, I don't. Right, I'm dissociating. What did you say about school? I heard I go to school for.
The
I
fact that
didn't
I
hear
was talking
before.
about dissociating and
I
then
didn't
you
hear the,
dissociated, I love it.
That's the
I didn't
mood.
hear the before or after. Also, my captions are working again. I just saw them
Are they
kicking.
really? Let
Yeah,
me.
they've just kicked back in. What be exposing your
Oh,
mic there? I see. Hello.
oh,
I was talking about
TikTok.
I heard something about
being on.
school, and I was just
Yeah,
like,
well, because
I go
I
to
well,
school.
the
Oh,
reason why I'm going to school is for marketing. There we go. I'm going to
Oh,
marketing.
I go to
right.
art
So,
school for photography and graphic design.
yeah, graphic design is my passion.
Same.
Wait, does anybody, you guys know that meme, right? That one's
Dude,
not
yeah.
too old?
No, it's
Okay,
not too
good.
Just
I
old.
was a little
just
worried for a
realize
second.
it's just kicked in.
Yep, okay. Just wanted to make sure.
So one of the things that we talk about with hyperfixations. Andrew, do you have a current hyperfixation right now? Do you get hyperfixations?
Mm, I know what
Yeah.
it is if it hasn't changed yet.
What is it?
Heartstopper.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
just called
I'm
them
not gonna
out.
lie.
Not call out.
I'm gonna call
I just
myself out
happened
here.
to know.
Middle of the podcast, I DM'd Red and Anne asking, "Oh my God, what is my hyperfixation heart stop?"
Oh,
I was
I
like,
love
"I
that.
mentioned that."
Andrew. I think that
Oh,
counts.
Yeah, that's fine. It's still not over. The fact that season 2 filming is
Excellent.
happening in a few months, it's brought it all back.
Mm.
I love
Yeah.
that though, because like I haven't watched or read Heartstopper, but I know the premise of it, and it is something that I would potentially like to get into at some point, but my other
I will watch it with
hyperfixations
you.
won't let me. So
I will watch it
Right.
with you. I will force you next voice chat. I will force you to watch it.
I okay, it really depends on if I'm actually having to do something though.
Well, meant to be doing something.
Anyway, so but like so with our hyperfixations, what
Mm.
we've talked about with what they are, has that affected your ability to stream?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we're all into like we understand that when we get hyperfixated on something, it
Mhm.
becomes our almost our personality.
It's my
Or
bio on Discord.
Special things I choose to weave into my
I know.
personality. Those.
It's
right,
still my
right.
bio.
Thus
My bio on
making it
Discord is my
harder for us to
personality.
go ahead and do content. What is your bio?
My
Mine is still
personality is
anxious
just
content creator.
mine is my personality. It's just Heartstopper.
Excellent. I don't even know what mine is.
I've been
I'm not
thinking
even
Uh
a chance trying to
when I
find it right
used to
now.
when I used to rewatch it every day. It was like I could stream, or I could just rewatch it.
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
me a lot of times, like I said with Final Fantasy. Like if I'm in a really big Final Fantasy 14, the MMO, there's a free trial up to level 60, including the award-winning expansion Heaven's Word.
Oh my
If I get
God.
really into it and it's the only game I want to play and I don't want to stream it, sometimes I'll just be like, well, I thought about streaming today, but I could just play Final Fantasy and I'm gonna do that instead. So
That's
that's definitely happened before.
recently my thing is that I've been loving like booting up Minecraft and then like putting like a YouTube video on or music on, and it's just been like I would much rather at the moment do that than stream it because then I can't have music on, I can't have a
Mm,
YouTube video on, I've got to interact, I've got to talk, I can't be a gremlin. Do you know what I mean? I've been so enjoying just playing my games, putting music on, and just do you know what I mean?
mm,
I've been enjoying not being a content creator for a little bit.
yeah.
You
It's
know,
Because it
always
it's
can
good
be
to
a
kind of
have
like a
those
lot.
breaks and
like
start
a
doing those
recharge
things
moment,
for
you know?
yourself again.
A
Mhm.
Fully,
charge
yeah.
moment. Yeah. Exactly. Giving yourself those breaks. Like, this is the only thing that I'm doing content wise this week. Um,
Mm,
out of the fact that I have something that I have to do tomorrow, but also because I've been so burnt out lately, on
mm,
everything, like I said before. So,
yeah.
like, getting to that point where where you give yourself a break and you stop doing something for a little bit, it's kind of a good thing to do. I say kind of, but it really is. It's good to like give yourself those breaks. You have to recognize the fact that you are hyperfixating on something and you don't want to do it on as content at all. So like
Uh,
playing
Right.
Minecraft off stream or for me it was I don't really like playing Fortnite on stream as often, and I only play a couple of matches anyway.
oh,
Because
4 a.m. matches.
I like
Mm,
playing only a couple of games, and then like sometimes I'll only play like solo games because like I want to play solo for once in a while. I don't want to play like a whole team or whatever because then I feel like I have to VC with everybody, and then that just uses up more spoons than I have, and I just don't want to do that.
mm,
And
Yeah.
so it feels like sometimes your hyperfixations end up using some of those spoons
mm.
that you have, and sometimes it uses more than what you have. You use tomorrow
Yeah.
spoons.
That's actually like an interesting point because so we've been talking about things that we're like currently like hyperfixating on, stopping us from streaming, but I've actually got in the back of my mind this like opposite situation where I've really been considering doing some of my D&D like lore building and world building and stuff on stream. Kind of like
Please
Glam, the
do.
way that you would do your oh, okay. um, the way that you would do like your study streams and you would do your
Mhm.
homework on stream and be like, I want to stream, I want to do my homework. Let's do like both.
Mhm.
It's nice when obviously like your schoolwork isn't like a hyperfixation, but it's nice when the things that like you want to do other than streaming can actually align into streaming. And I've been
Mhm.
thinking about doing that because that would be great.
Right, and that's a great thing to point out too because I did that for a while. I mean, like DBD was a hyperfixation for me for like a solid like year. It was the only
Right,
game I wanted to play. I didn't want to play. I was like, "Oh, I'm a DBD and Animal Crossing streamer," but I wasn't playing Animal Crossing. Like, and I was
right,
only playing DBD, and then like once a week I'd be like, "Oh, I'm playing something else that's not DBD. What the heck is this?" And then I played DBD at the end of it. So, like I
right.
was still doing those things and those, but
Mm,
that also brought in a whole nother part of the community into my streams because I was hyper fixating on something else. So like now I have Animal Crossing
mhm,
people, now I have DVD people, now I have people that just like want to watch some of the other content that I do, but they like the fact that I do a bunch of different things. Um
mm.
so it's kind of like hyperfixations can be great for content. They can also be bad for content. It just really depends
Right.
on what's going on. Um, but yeah, so doing all those different things is it's like I said, it's good and it's bad.
Mm,
But
yeah.
that being said, with the hyperfixation, being can be a bad thing with content and good. But what would your advice be to someone else who is having those troubles focusing on their content?
I think mine would probably be like, and it's gonna sound like sappy and stupid, but like learn how to fall in love with your content again. Like do whatever you've got to do to make it something that becomes that thing that you want to do that you can't stop thinking about. Um, because you can kind of use if you yourself experience those things of like, oh, this thing is like all I want to think about right now. And you can recognize those patterns in yourself, maybe taking a little piece of that and going, okay, well, how can I know that I want to stream and I'm having a hard time getting myself to do it. How can I make this the thing that I can't stop thinking about in like a positive way? And I really want to do it, you know? I haven't learned the secret to that yet. If you figure it out for yourself, let me know. That's cool. I haven't found mine yet, but sometimes all it takes is just saying, okay, I want to play a different game on stream. And
Mhm.
again, that can suck a little bit for like your statistics and stuff, but if you're able to do it and you're like, hey, I really want to play this game right now, like this is my thing right now, then that can be great. And it can open up, again, a door to a whole bunch of new people to join your community that maybe wouldn't have found you through Animal Crossing, but they found you through DBD, or they wouldn't find you through those things, but you played, what's an example of you, Glam? What was one of those like Halloween games that you've played? You know, like those bring in like people that
Oh
maybe
yeah.
wouldn't have found you from the other things, right?
Mhm.
Or if you play Life is Strange, you know, people like scoping out those categories, stuff like that. I feel like that
Sorry, you
can
said
I
that
maybe
got
as
help
the
you
some
a
I
little.
outro.
got some pretty cool people during, which is actually really funny
Yeah,
because both of
exactly.
you guys didn't see me play Life is Strange because that was
I'm
before.
so upset
I
about
missed it.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
Can
like
you
you
the month
replay it?
before I started watching your stream.
so like I when I first played that, it was July of 2019, so it was right before Banana came into the community. And
Mhm.
I did it right before my vacation that I had because I had a vacation. And so I was somebody told me to play the game and then I think they bought it for me. I can't remember who it was.
Oh, that's
Um,
sweet.
but they bought it for me and I remember playing the game and I had so much fun playing it, but I was also getting frustrated because you know me. If I can't figure out
Right.
something, I start getting frustrated. And so
Yeah.
I was confused at the action of like going forward and back in time and whatnot.
Yeah.
And
It's
Right.
it's
it
it's
was
hard to understand when you first
yeah,
play.
especially because I
Agreed.
had never seen any content with it before. Most of the games that I have been playing, I haven't seen other content. The
Yeah.
only game that I ever played that
Mhm.
I had seen previous content of was DBD. So it was a very weird thing for me to be playing Life is Strange and not know any of the things that were happening.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of the trigger warnings,
Right.
which was
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
That's a
So
big
like,
one with story-based games because a
mhm,
lot of
yeah.
them tend to go into that territory of like really heavy topics, and then
I
it's all
right,
of a
remember.
sudden I'm crying on
Yeah.
stream,
yeah.
I
you
Oh my
know?
god,
remember
don't even.
I
So
had a Google Doc for Life is Strange which listed like the trigger and then why it was a trigger for the
mhm.
like and then like I added links to
Right.
them all and then I had like helplines. I did like I need to find that Google. I should just make that a public
Mm.
Google Doc because it's like has all the possible triggers, a description of the trigger, and then a link to the description. I had it all typed
Mhm.
out and then I had a section at the bottom with like all the helplines and everything.
Yeah.
Right.
I could
I
use
need to
that for
find
the
that.
ones I haven't played yet
Mhm.
Which
'cause
ones have you not
I don't know
I've
played?
only
what
played
I'm
the
in for.
right. I've only played the first one. I never played, and
Oh,
I have
Mm.
the second one. I have before the storm, and I haven't
Mhm.
gotten True Colors yet, but I have considered getting it
I
to
have
play on
them all.
stream. But again, I think part of that had to do with the fact that I had played the first one and wasn't aware of the trigger warnings, especially because it
Yeah.
was so early in my streaming career that I didn't understand the idea of putting out trigger warnings. Somebody said, "Oh, by
Right.
the way, this is a very heavy topic coming up," and I was like, "Oh, thank you for letting me know," because I had
Yeah.
somebody come into my stream because I was playing Life is Strange, and then something that happens in the story, which I won't give that away for those that haven't played it.
Do yourself
Um,
a favor. Go play it.
when I did play it, something had happened, and there's two outcomes to it,
I
and
know exactly what point you're talking
one
about.
of the ones somebody came into my stream, saw that I had done the better of the two, and they donated money to me because of it.
Oh,
Because
that's so
they're
sweet.
like, "We stand these type of people that want to help this sort of thing." And I was like, "Oh my
Mhm.
god, like that's so amazing that you did that. You didn't need to do that." And because like I just that's a normal typical thing for me. That's what I would have done in real life. So like
See,
the fact that you did that.
Actually,
if
I have a fun
you
fact about that. Obviously no spoilers for what the situation is, but if you've played the game, you probably know what we're talking about by now. It took me a second, but I got there. When I played it, the first time I played Life is Strange, I played at college with like my group of friends, right? So we're all just like sitting in the lounge of our dorm playing it. We didn't get the better outcome. We got the
Mm,
really sad one.
oh
So there's
no.
just a gaggle of college kids sitting on like couches and chairs in front of a little TV, fucking crying our eyes out. Um, um, it it was. I want to say it was a good experience because like I love the game and I love
Mm-hmm.
what I learned from playing it, but also like there was like half a dozen of us just fucking crying together.
Yeah. But the
Mm-hmm.
thing is, Graham, if you did want to stream Life is Strange before the storm, me and Banana can help with the trigger warnings with
Yeah.
that. I can help with the trigger warnings for 2, and then eventually True Colors, Because I've
Right.
got.
As
Mm,
long as I don't get told what happens, because like I know
No,
like
no,
the
no.
premise of obviously I know you wouldn't do that, but like I would love
right.
to replay the original,
Please.
but
Please.
it's also really
Please.
hard to keep that in when because I also have Tell Me Why as a game that I
Yeah, I
would like
want
to
to
play
play
on
that.
stream, and
Me too.
that one is also very triggery warning y. And so I have to like set up a whole thing now because for me personally, I wouldn't want somebody to come into my stream, see that I'm playing this game, not know what the game is about, and then like
Yep.
want to exactly like unfollow, unsub, leave,
Yeah.
get the fuck out
Mm,
because I didn't
See,
give them that particular warning.
right.
I'm playing through Life is Strange 2 at the moment. I took a bit of a break after episode 3, so I've got 2 more episodes to go. I already know the list of trigger warnings.
Oh no.
um,
Yeah.
but we can help with that. It's a
Mhm.
case of like, if you wanted to play through Life is Strange first, then I'll play through Tell Me Why, and then I can give you the trigger warnings for that. Do you know what I mean? We can
Right.
we can we
Yeah.
Oh,
can work something out for that.
for sure. I think that'd be a
There's
cool thing to kind of
actually
do.
there's a
Oh,
really good website and I don't think what
yeah, well, exactly
you
what you're
pointed
saying.
at
That
me.
I believe that there's
Oh,
a website that has all
there's
the trigger warnings for everything.
yeah.
Not
I
everything.
don't know if this one has video games, but it's got like TV and movies and stuff. It's
There's one for
I
books too.
mhm. It's called Does the Dog Die, I think, which
Oh
is,
yeah.
so it's like if you don't like watching movies where that happens, I know. If you
Actually,
don't
why
like
I
watching
refuse to
movies
watch
where
it.
that happens,
I can't watch
yeah, me
any
too.
kinds of movies.
Yeah.
I can't. It's actually why I'm not gonna watch anybody playing Stray or play
Me too.
Stray myself because somebody said that that an animal does get hurt in there and your character
Mm.
that you play as does get hurt. And I was like, okay, they get hurt, but do you hear noises? And then they're like, yes.
Yeah,
And I said, nope, I'm out. I can't. I
full
can't.
agree.
I
Yeah.
literally like I will cry harder over an animal dying than a person dying.
Same.
I
Yeah, that would.
I
Yeah, for sure.
I
But yeah,
wanna
the
play it.
website has. Oh, sorry.
I wanna
What are
play
you
it.
doing this after?
But I'll be telling myself when stuff like that happens. It's just a game. It's just a game. It's not real. It's not real. It's not
Mm,
real. It's not real.
still
It's not real.
can't do it.
Like, I'll
yeah, I
probably
can't do it.
I
like
tr-
play with sound effects off, so I just
Oh, yeah.
can't hear it. Play the game on mute.
Mm. Um, but yeah, that particular website has like a lot more than just that. Like, I'm not gonna list them, obviously, because the
right.
title of the website already is. But I think that that's like a really cool thing that you can do.
Yeah.
Um, and if it doesn't have video games, I assume that there is one that does, and I would like to see it. Thank you, please and thank you.
Um so we're gonna kind of wiggle our way over out of this kind of topic except for
Right.
it kind of goes with whatever everyone else says. So those that are in the Twitch chat, please go ahead and if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat here, and we'll go ahead and read them off and we'll answer them as we go. Obviously if it's something that's out of the box that we're just kind of not comfortable with talking about, we will definitely not answer that question and let you know that that was a little out of box, maybe time it out. just
Mhm.
just fair
Okay.
warning. um for those that are watching on YouTube or listening through Anchor FM or any of the other podcast platforms that you can watch this or listen to this on, if you go on to our Twitch channel, we are live every other Saturday. I almost said Tuesday like it was a why would I say Tuesday? It's Saturday. Every other Saturday we are live at noon PST, 3 p.m. EST, or 8 p.m. BST.
There we
Let me just get that all
go.
out.
I'm
I know.
proud
I
of
feel
you.
like I did that without reading that somewhere. Because usually I have to have some sort of script for myself. So if you have any questions for us, please let us know. We will answer them as we go along. If you want to watch us on here on Twitch, I definitely recommend you following us and turning on your notifications so that you know when we go live, and as well as checking out our Twitter, because when you check out our Twitter, I typically try to post beforehand when who our next guest is this week. Like I said in the podcast today, I've been burnt out, so I haven't been able to like post a whole thing about being live with Banana. That being
Just
said,
roll
yes,
me.
please go ahead and check out
Don't get
Banana.
me.
Banana is there's her content, as well as I made this too. Check out
Oh,
Twitch, Twitter, as well as their card to see other parts of their content. But yeah,
and
if
that
you
as
have
well.
any questions, oh well, now I have
No, you
Andrew.
don't.
No,
No, you do.
I do.
Yes.
There's the shout outs for everybody that is on the podcast right now. Again, if you have any questions, anything at all, it could be about hyperfixations. It can be about uh our content creation journey. It can be about anything else.
D&D. Ask me
Yeah,
questions about
there we
D&D.
go. It can be D&D. Oh wait, I actually have a
Just like
question.
a badge you should have on. Ask me about D&D.
Ask me
Honestly,
about
yeah.
D&D.
Honestly, though, I
I
could have one of
love
those
it.
with like a million things on it. It's like, ask me about D&D, ask me about Stranger Things, ask me about Life is Strange.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you
You about
have a question, go ahead and put it in the chat. For now, I'm gonna actually, even though I've been asking, I've been asking a lot of questions today, but what is your favorite stream moment that you've had, Banana? Because this is a question that we had last stream, and I love that question. What is your favorite stream moment? Something that happened during your content that you did, or that somebody else did, or something that just made you like so happy.
That's a difficult question. Oh no, I'm not sure. Um, okay, I guess can I have like a couple favorites?
Yeah,
But they're like shorter answers, I
One.
guess.
and just
Thank
like
you.
no,
No, not one.
only one favorite moment. You can.
One.
It's like saying you can only have one best friend.
Right.
Oh
Um,
God, never mind. You can have many. You can have as many as you want.
Thank you. Okay, speaking of best friend, I guess one of my like oldest favorite moments would be drawing dicks
Say
in
it.
the sand in Stardew Valley with April, or the time we ran around with our characters' clothes off before the egg hunt.
Those
Versus
were
Predator.
iconic moments, okay?
Two of
Those were
my
iconic
favorite
moments.
earlier clips. A couple of my other ones are the one where I was chasing after a dragonfly and I laughed and it sounded like what the Samsung ringtone. Andrew, we were talking about this like last week.
Are you talking about the one that I clipped and you were and when you
Yep,
yelled poggers and like smacked the
hug.
table?
And then I go, but it's like really like high pitched. I can't recreate it perfectly, but like watch the clip. It's really funny.
I'm gonna find
I
the clip for you
never
all.
noticed that. I
It's
Hang
never
on.
so
noticed
funny.
that.
The other ones I guess would be like when I won Fall Guys for the first time on stream, and when I got a victory royale in Fortnite after playing it for a total of like 2 hours, maybe less.
I
The first time I
remember
ever played
that.
it. It was April Fool's Day. I said I will never play Fortnite. I don't like it. I think it's stupid. And then I played Fortnite on stream for April Fool's Day and April Fooled myself.
Yeah,
So that's definitely a good one.
that's the
That's
best
all. Just
description
like 5 or
ever.
6.
Because now look at
Yeah.
me. I play Fortnite on the daily.
Yup.
I play like 2 matches a day. I gotta get my Fortnite fix.
Yes. Okay, what do you
uh,
guys got for that question? I want to know.
um, Favorite stream moment?
Oh,
Yeah.
what did I say mine was?
I don't even remember what I said. I don't think I answered
I
it
knew
because
you wouldn't
I
remember
asked
and that
it.
you'd have a fresh answer. I'm very excited.
Well, because like I asked it the
Mhm.
last time too. So like I don't think I even answered the question. Because I have a couple. I think one of them was like when I first started streaming. When I first started streaming, I was never one of those people. Okay, now I am not one of those people who goes into other people's streams and be like, "Oh, you're ending. You could raid me." You know what I mean? But I
Mhm.
did that in the beginning of my streaming thing, okay?
Oh
But I did it,
no.
okay, but I didn't do it that way. I did it more of like the joking like Kappa, you could raid me, but I wasn't live. So, and then
Uh-huh.
they're like, "Wait, are you actually gonna go live right now?" And I was like, "Well, I thought about it, but I wasn't actually meaning raid me." And then they're like, "No, no, no, go on, go live right now, and
Nah,
I
you
will
said
raid
it. Follow
you."
through.
And then I was like, You want me to stream?" I was like, "But it's like 10 o'clock at night." Well, it's 10 o'clock at night, and that was back when I was doing my streams really late at night.
Mhm.
And
Oh God.
yeah, I did it at 10. I used to do
Right.
them at like 10 p.m., 9 p.m. I would start
I'd
streams
be
really
waking up
super
and you'd be
late.
on.
Yeah. Yeah, remember I used to do them so late. But yeah, so that was like at the very beginning of my, because like I hadn't even gotten the affiliate yet at that point. Like I was very early on. Um,
Mm.
and so I went live right after they said that, and they rated me, and they helped me get to affiliate that time
Aw.
with that raid. And it was a very short stream. I literally only streamed for 2 hours, um which at the time was like normal for me, but
Mm. Right.
and I don't think I would be where I'm at without them being there for me because they wanted to help me out.
Mm. That's cool.
Oh my god, you found it.
You found it. Excellent. Yeah, tell me that I don't sound like the Samsung ringtone when I laugh.
Oh my god, can you
I can't stop this.
you should have that for never mind. Send that to me so that I could go ahead and put it in my notes for the description for the YouTube video.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you could play it for YouTube.
Well,
I'm
I'm not gonna
cool
play
with
it for
whatever
YouTube.
you want to
We'll
That's
just
do.
the
have it off
wrong
to the side
person.
for it.
Oh, I see
Oh.
what you're doing.
Yeah, so have it in
I
like the
get it.
description. I'm getting really
Mm.
hot right now. But if
Oh
there's
my
any
God,
questions in
same.
the Twitch chat, you could go ahead and let me know.
Wait, Andrew, what was your favorite stream moment?
Where my first camera stream and
That's right, I do
the
I
chat was
remember.
remember
just
that.
human because everyone was so excited and I was just like I'm over, and then I showed my face and then Crystal raided and the chat just flew and it was
Yeah,
best
that was so
moment ever.
fun. That was
Best
so
moment
fun.
ever.
Ooh,
I still can't believe that you're showing your face.
I know.
It's been like a month and a half, 2 months now, and I'm still like, oh my god,
Oh
I see Andrew
God.
all the time. Like, like we
We
Part of
BC.
me,
we don't voice chat, we video chat.
part of me is shocked every time, and then part of me also feels like it's always been this way. It's like
Hmm.
a weird
Yes.
juxtaposition where my brain can't decide which one I feel
I can't
like.
remember the time I wasn't on camera.
Right, but at the same time, every time you turn on your camera, I go, as
Did
if
you
it's
really
like the
do
first
that?
time. Yes. Yeah, like that's my reaction every time. Remember, I went to art school. I have a theater degree. I can act. Um,
Oh my God.
but yeah,
My reaction when
it's
you showed
fun.
us or your face was just, and you're like, somebody say something. I'm like, I'm shooketh. I can't say anything. What are you talking
I
about? I'm
was
looking at
like,
your
my
face.
desk was here. It wasn't over there. It was here, and I was sat like a gremlin in my chair, just being like,
You're like,
"Hey."
Excellent.
And then a few days after, we went and watched Shrek the Musical with our cameras on.
Yes, that was so
that was so much
fun.
fun. We
Love
gotta do
Shrek
that
the
again.
musical.
We gotta do that
We
again, but
do
like with a
next is
different.
Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
Mm.
So Red Arrow asks
Yeah.
that they said that they asked this question last time. Yay, points for originality. Totally get it though. I mean, I asked the
Mhm.
same thing too. Anyway, so I guess it's really only for Banana, but which has been your favorite game that you've streamed so far?
You've got
What have I
one correct answer for
streamed?
this, Banana.
Well, I streamed Life is Strange and I cried on the internet. So I feel like that's probably what Andrew's assuming, right?
Yes.
Okay. Um, it might be my favorite because part of my intent with starting to stream was the fact that like I had just finished college and I was no longer like surrounded by my friends and playing games all the time. And that was sort of like part of the way that we bonded, right? My whole like friend group at school. That and watching Vines. Um
Oh
so
God.
I was like, man, how do I like I've jumped into this like internet community and I was like kind of interested in streaming. I was like, what if I like take that feeling and I put it into like making content and doing that so like I can share these games with other people and be like, look at this cool thing. So I guess maybe that is one of my favorites because I love Life is Strange. It's one of the first games that I really like got to like hang out with my best friend with, and it's one of the first games that really like I don't know, it made an impression on me, I guess. Other than that, I would say probably Animal Crossing because I really like the community like feeling built around Animal Crossing, like doing the KK Slider concerts and playing games and stuff. I have two favorites. Sorry. That's just me. But yeah,
That's not
I think those
allowed.
would be
You
my
can't
two
have
favorites.
two.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll ask a question, and I
Sure.
guess we can all answer it. What's a game on stream that you streamed, but then you realize this isn't me? I will never stream this ever again. Have you had that happen with a game?
The last time I was asked this question, I answered it with Doki Doki Literature Club
Oh,
I have an
so
answer.
fair, yeah. I don't know
because
if I have an answer. I feel like I need to look at my like what games have I played?
well,
I
But
nobody
yeah, you
did.
should
actually gave me
answer.
like proper trigger warnings on that one either. They were just like, "Oh yeah, it's just a cute game." Haha, Kappa. I was like, "Why do you
In
keep saying
what
Kappa?
world?
Why are you
Yeah.
saying Kappa? Why is this a horror game? Nobody fucking told me." And then I was
I don't
like,
I don't like the
which
situation surrounding that game like that.
so then I kept playing it, and then when we started getting right before the actual like part that it starts getting to that point, I stopped playing the games and I never finished them.
Mhm.
For me,
So
the least
valid.
thing I've ever liked streaming was Life is Strange.
Really?
Because there was
Hmm.
just spoilers in chat. There was people just
Oh.
not
Which is funny because I
respecting the
didn't
fact.
get that when I was playing that. I didn't get
I did because
spoilers.
it was my first playthrough that I did on stream back in 2020, I think it was. And people like someone put in like a major spoiler for the game, and I just gave up streaming it. I was just like, nope.
Yeah,
Oh.
I
So
never got
I
spoilers.
and I will write it down, engrave it, put it in an essay, put it on the wall. I will
Hmm.
never ever stream Life is Strange ever again.
That's
Which
fair,
is funny
yeah.
because you're telling me to play Life is Strange
I'm
on
telling you
stream.
to stream it, but I'll never stream it because it got
But
ruined for
Yeah.
me on stream.
but also for me, because when you first played it, I don't know what your set of mod team was at the time, but like I have a pretty solid team right now, so like, oh,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. And so like I know that I
Mhm.
would be able to
Ever
rely
since
on y'all
I
to
joined.
be like
Just
looked
kidding.
at.
Just kidding.
as we both
Okay, take
as
it
we
back.
both sit here with our longest mod on both of our teams.
Yes, but I also
Hi.
wasn't playing Life is Strange originally when
Banana was a mod
I
for
wasn't there
me.
for
she
it, yeah.
wasn't there for it.
She was for me, I think.
Was I?
You were there for the first episode, but the second episode, when I got the spoiler, you were streaming yourself.
I was
That's
streaming while you were? Doesn't sound like me.
Well, it was. There was a time, especially during the Luigi's Mansions, where we were both streaming Luigi's Mansion at the same time in
Luigi's
October, because
Mansion.
you
I
streamed every day
forgot.
in October of 2020.
Oh, that's why. Yeah.
And then
Um,
little old consistent 2020
that was
me was
fun.
like, no, I'm not canceling stream.
Oh, and then me was like, it's October. Yeah, I could see that being the case. Well, I'm sorry, Andrew.
Don't apologize for something that
Um,
happened 2 years ago.
that's true. I'm not that same person.
literally though.
Um, I figured out my answer to the question, by the way.
Oh, yes. What is your answer?
I forgot I even streamed it. I just looked at my Twitch tracker and looked at the categories I have the least hours in. Cities Skylines.
Oh no. Oh.
I felt
Oh.
I now that I've looked
Oh.
at it, I remember. I like the game. It's fun. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it's a nice game.
I felt boring stupid trying to stream it because
It's a hard game to make content out of.
mhm. And it's like I'm sure that it's interesting if you know what you're doing. Like I watched someone play City Skylines like last week for like a little bit. I didn't have a ton of time, but it was enough to be like, yeah, this is fun. But I feel like personally I was just like either too quiet or I like felt stupid because I didn't know what I was doing. I just remember not enjoying. I streamed it like once, never again. It's just not a content game for me.
Right. Right. And try in the in the middle of that, did you like decide that you were gonna play something else, or did you like decide at the very end of the stream that you were like, yeah, that's a no-go for me now?
I don't remember, to be honest. I don't remember if I switched to something else or not.
I
But I
felt
I don't think I streamed it for very long.
I thought of
I
another
can
answer
check.
for me. And it's not like I'd never stream it again, but a game I do not enjoy streaming is Stardew. I
Yeah.
like the game.
Interesting.
I like what it has to offer. I find it hard to make content out of because it's like, what the hell do I talk about? You know?
Yeah,
Right.
so talking about that, I've had a couple of things where I wanted to do, because I do want to do Stardew content at some point again, and it's like some people what they do, and I literally like bow down to these freaking people that are on YouTube creating these edit or creating these videos of Stardew. What they'll do is they'll make the content and then they'll go ahead and edit those videos, and they are like solid videos and like having like the voiceover on it, and they're really
Mm.
good videos and I love how they do it. I can't get myself to do that kind of
Yeah.
editing. It's a lot of
Mm.
editing, and then there's also the people that are talking while they play the Stardew, which is something that I have tried doing before as well. Still can't do it. It's like you're
When
talking,
we
it's like you're
tried
doing,
it,
yeah, the three of us tried it. Oh, pardon
Yeah.
me. The three of us tried doing a playthrough, and it went okay. Like us playing it was lots of fun,
but
but
making
all three of
content
us
out of
tried
it,
editing our views of it, and it just we couldn't edit it. It was just so much
Mm.
work, and like
uh,
like
like I
ugh.
didn't even upload it. I was like, I gave up. I gave up on my end. I was just like, I'm not uploading this. This
I bet if I
Yeah.
watched it now, because I still have it on my YouTube channel, I could probably watch it now, and it would be
I
like, oh my
think I
god.
have mine up.
Oh my god, we
Yeah.
should go back to it at the 1 year mark if we've not like 1 year later for episode 2.
Oh my
I've still
gosh.
got the farm.
We'll play Stardew once a year.
I've
Annual.
still
Annual
I've
farm.
still got the farm though, that's the thing. It's still on my starter.
I was about to say who did it, because I don't have that.
It's on my end.
Excellent.
Oh, I love that.
Pharaoh's reset farm.
Oh
Oh,
my
oh my god.
god.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's old,
Right.
is when your name was
Yeah.
That's
Reset.
yeah, no.
Was that when you were reset crossing, or when you were simply
Moving
press reset?
swiftly, moving swiftly on. Ah,
Um, well, to
uh,
give Andrew
reset
a little
crossing.
break on that one, I looked it up. I played City Skylines one time on December 3rd, 2019 for 4 hours, and that was it.
wow, that's actually quite a long time for you to play it. That's
Mm-hmm.
not, you know what I mean.
If
Yeah.
I'm not
It's like
enjoying
this.
streaming a game, I give up after 10 minutes.
I'm that person that like I keep being like, I want to stream for like as close to 4 hours as possible. I've done that a lot. I don't know why.
I
But
want to
Mine
stream for
is
3
three
hours, streams for
hours.
an hour.
Mine is 3 hours. I usually
If
go
I
for 3 hours for stream.
I
mine's
can
gonna have to
stream for
start
an
becoming
hour, it's been
two.
a good stream. If I can get an hour out of it, it's been a good
Oh
stream.
God. So fair. I need to teach myself how to do that and not like put pressure on myself of like, well, if I don't stream for like this amount of time, it's not worth streaming. I gotta
Mhm.
stop doing
The
that.
way I look at it, an hour and a half is your normal movie length.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah, that's
You're
fair.
technically by going 2 hours, you're going above the usual. If you think
Mhm.
about it
Hmm.
that way.
That's true.
Also,
That is a very good point.
giving yourself breaks in the middle is also very important. Making sure that you take a break. I
Mm.
know, I believe it. Crystal, she has like a specific like not very specific, but she has like I'm gonna take a break at the 2 hour mark ish or whatever it ends
Yeah.
up being. Um, And I know that she has a particular thing that she always does. She has like
Yeah.
10-15 minutes where she actually takes a break. Um,
Mhm.
so I make sure that I do 5 or 10 minutes of break, and I usually clock it where I'm like, okay, I've been live for 2 hours and 5 minutes. I'm gonna take a break, and then I'll go off and I'll like stretch. I'll talk to my husband. I'll go use the restroom. I'll go fill my water bottle, and then I'll come back and I'll look at the time and be like, oh, it's two. I've been live for 2 hours and 10 minutes. That means I've only been at break for 5 minutes. I need to still stand here and do something or um
Uh-huh.
whatever, and
Right.
I'll go find something else to do where I'll go ahead and give Pat for some pets, or I'll grab a snack, or I'll start
Yeah.
doing
Mhm.
my weird stretches. Like I take care.
When
I've been
I
trying to do that more often.
when I
Yeah.
BRB on stream, it's very rare I actually get out of my seat. I
Andrew.
take a break from talking and
Mhm.
take a break from just like
That's
it's
yeah,
usually when
that's fair.
I'm on BRB, I usually take the time to check Discord, check Twitter, just make sure everything. Make sure the stream's okay. It's very rare. I won't get up unless I need. Like I'm not gonna go to the bathroom if I don't need to go. Do you know what I mean? That's how I
I
look at it.
always have to go.
I should like probably stop doing that, but I don't get up and stretch after stream. Like I'm not gonna get up and stretch after this. You know what I mean? I'm gonna stay
Oh
right
my
here
god.
until like 4 in the morning. You know?
I
Oh
am definitely gonna stretch
no.
because my butt hurts, even though I've
I'm
been sitting on this.
immediately going to the bathroom.
Mine
Yeah.
doesn't because I keep doing this. Like I keep like fidgeting.
Mhm.
hmm I've literally had multiple things on my desk to fidget with this entire time.
I've
Like,
been going like this with my phone.
I've been messing
hmm
with sticky notes.
just fidget.
I've
And I'm
been.
at it.
I also have a small bird.
I love that
I've just been
we're
going like
all
that.
just got something that we're
Fidget
fidgeting
check.
with. What's your fidgeting thing?
Put in your
This
chat. What are you fidgeting with while you're watching the
and
stream?
this,
I
which
actually
is a
have
microphone
Mhm.
filter. Just thought
I have one of those little
Excellent.
poppers
I've been doing
I
that.
use.
Yes.
Like that.
That's fun.
It's a little hat for my phone.
A
It's
little
a
hat.
A little hat.
I love
keeps
it.
it warm in
Look,
the
look at
wintertime.
this.
Hmm.
Look at this little hat.
Oh, God, the thought of wearing a hat right now.
Oh
I know,
It's
God,
right?
like 1,000,000 degrees in here right now.
makes me want to
91 outside.
puke.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to figure out why it was so quiet in the house right now, and I forgot that both my husband and stepson went out.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
They
fun.
bye.
went
See you
out like an
later.
hour ago, and I like totally spaced that they
It
did
wasn't an
because
hour ago.
it
We
was
saw him run
whenever
past.
about we saw him run past about half an hour, 45 minutes ago.
Oh, was it been that long? The
Yeah, I
last
have a
time I
note.
looked, we'd only been live for an hour and
Excuse
10
me.
minutes.
Yeah,
Oh
pretty
yeah,
much.
it's been.
With
2 hours
that,
later.
I was actually just
That's
gonna
fair.
be switching on over anyway. We're gonna go ahead and start ending on over here. Banana, where can we find you?
Lots of places on the internet. If you happen to catch my card on any of the FayFam Talks social media, you can find me on Twitch is where I stream. Sometimes I post YouTube videos. I highly recommend my Twitter. I think I'm funny. Also, I post my Wordle scores. Who doesn't love Wordle spam? I post on Instagram like 1 month out of the year usually. That's pretty fun. Um,
Except in
and I've
March.
got
You
a
post every day in March.
community Discord server. Yeah, I have a lot of Animal Crossing pictures on there from celebrating the anniversaries of the release. So that's kind of fun.
I always look forward to that.
Discord is fun. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, there's a couple other things on there. I think my TikTok is on there. I don't post on TikTok. Actually, I have like a couple good TikToks. You
I
should
was
watch
just
them
gonna
anyway.
say you have some TikToks on there. You can't say that.
I like that Final
Andrew.
Fantasy one. But yeah, that's it.
Yes.
That's me.
Andrew, your
Mostly Twitch and
turn.
Twitter.
So you can find me on twitch.tv/hexdrew. That's I stream whatever I feel like playing and whenever I want to. I'm actually gonna click on my card so I know what I'm saying. My Twitter, Hexdrew Live.
Such a
However,
good
you're
point.
better off following Hex Alt Drew because that's where all the better posts and funnier posts happen. Um, my YouTube, I need 21 more subscribers to get a custom URL. I really, really want one so it's not those stupid long letter
Oh my
ones.
gosh, yes.
And then my Discord server where we have a community Minecraft server if that's what you're into. So
Fun.
I love
that's
that.
about it. And then my Instagram is pretty dead, so don't bother following it.
Mm-hmm. That is a mood. I'm trying to work on my Instagram, and it's really funny for me because
Yeah.
like I realize that I actually have like family members or like friends from high school that still see my Instagram, and so I post something that's like highly Twitch or highly not highly, but like it's not your typical, it's kind of NSFW but not NSFW, but getting
Right.
close to it, and then somebody
Uh-huh.
likes it from high school and I'm like, oh god, I forgot about that.
Anyway,
I
Glam, where
think
can we find you?
Anyway, you can find me. There's my card there. You can go ahead and check out my card as well. For those that are watching on YouTube or listening on the podcast platforms, all these links will be in the description as well. But you can go ahead and check out my card. I mostly stream on Twitch. I am working on my YouTube content as well as plenty of other places. I post on Twitter quite regularly. I try to post on there like daily about some things that are going on in my life just so like everyone kind of keeps up with me, because I am currently burnt out. My name literally on Twitter right now is Glamour Fairy burnt out. Like, so but yeah, that's kind of a way to see where all my content is at. I don't have my Discord in there because I don't typically keep that there. I get nervous because of all the past things that we've had in the past.
that's
God.
super valid.
That
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
I've
reminded
had
me when
so
my
many.
Discord erupted. Oh
Oh,
God.
so many things. But that being said, I appreciate everyone who has been watching currently. Thank you so much for being here. Stay tuned. We are going to go on the ending screen for us that are in Twitch. And then we'll come back here and we'll say hi to everybody real quick. For those that are listening on YouTube or on other platforms, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate you for being here. We appreciate you for being here. And make sure you check out everyone that is on the podcast today, and we will see you guys in the next episode. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you, and bye.
I
Bye.